It says I'm live, but I won't believe it till I see it on my iPad. Y'all, thank you for coming. Hello, Daniel. And I will wait till I see. Y'all probably see me, but I don't see me, and I need to see me to make sure that I'm talking. You can start. Okay, all right, all right, all right over there.
Are we
You
live yet? Are we live yet? Are we live yet?
no, well, I don't see it, so we might be. People might be like, "Yeah, I can see you," and I'm like, no. "Wow, wow." I mean, I'd be okay if I had a commercial. Okay.
Commercials that don't pay you nothing.
Oh, we're live. I don't know why I had to go out and come back in. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Miss Damn Jewelry. I'm Dolores, and with me is Daniel from Tackyisme. All of his links are in the description of the video or the live. And let's start saying hi to some folks. Kathy Wiseman, hello. How are you? The Belgian hippie Heidi, I see you're not feeling, girl. Well, girl, I hope you feel better. Rest. You know what? Just pamper yourself. And I hope you start to feel better.
It's okay, Heidi. We'll be loud enough for you too.
Yeah. We'll be loud enough to give you another headache if that's what you have. Um, we're here today. Daniel, please tell us what the weather forecast is like there in Charleston, Illinois.
Well, just like everybody else, it's freaking hot. Supposedly this is the last day, but we'll see. And supposedly I'm gonna get storms. I'll have to go hide in the closet.
How hot is it? No, I'm just kidding.
It's 96 and that humidity. Oh, that's the bad part. It's not the heat. It's that dumbass humidity. Sorry.
Oops. You can say it. I don't care. You know me. Yeah, he started reading the weather to me, and I was like, God, that sounds familiar. He's like, I'm reading your weather. Oh.
I know. It made me so mad. I'm like, 68. I'll take that. I'm like, man, that's a cold front coming through. We're going to have 4 or 5 tornadoes if that happens.
Yeah, and you're expecting some funky weather over there, aren't you?
Yep. We're supposed to have some storms come through. I don't know, 4. Just as long as it's over by 8 so I can go to bed.
Hey, Sadie.
If I have a bed.
Well, the weather here, like Daniel said, is 68 for the high, 48 for the low. It actually feels really nice and cool outside. I'm not trying to rub it in, y'all. I'm not. It just does. There's a little breeze. Yeah, I think, but it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow by the looks of the weather, which I'm okay with because I don't mind the rain and the cold. That's why I go to Scotland holiday. And that's why I don't go back to Texas until December. Hurricane season's over. The heat's over. I'm good. Do you know what I mean? We had thunderstorms the last 2 nights. Ooh. Kathy, where are you? Where are you at again, Kathy? I know you've told us like 600 times, but you know, we're old people. We don't remember where we're at half the time. Yeah, Ohio. Okay, so yeah. Okay, Ohio. Wow. So
they had big storms last night.
Did they? Yeah, she said.
Yeah, they had a tornado in Michigan, I think.
Really? Is that unusual for Michigan? Or is that normal?
Not this time of, I mean, if you have a cold front coming through when it's hot.
Oh, up by Lake Erie.
Lake Erie, yeah.
Nice.
It was a big one. It was a PDS.
What's PDS?
A PDS tornado warning is a particularly dangerous situation. They're basically saying, get your behind somewhere safe, and even then, you might not be safe.
Yeah, you may escape it. Monica, hello. Good to see you. So today, Monroe County. Okay, I'm gonna look that up now. I'm gonna go visit Kathy in Ohio because it's by Lake Erie. I think that sounds to me. It sounds nice. Do you know what I mean? It's like, ooh, Lake Erie. That sounds nice. That sounds like, oh, I don't know. I mean, I've never been to Ohio.
Well, if you're close to the lake and it gets to be wintertime.
Oh, yeah.
You get those snowstorms.
The lake effect, or what do they call it?
Yeah, no. Might as well move to Canada.
Sandy, her husband was born in Lakewood, Ohio. Hey, Amanda, how you doing? How's it going over there? Well, I mean, she's the same time as me, so she's up in this late this evening like me. Yes, ma'am. I got some new speckaroonies. I got some new specs. I was gonna. So what had happened was I had ordered the. We have a real quick side note. We have a app here called Vinted. I think they might have it in the States. It's been like Macari, Poshmark, except on Vinted you get pretty good deals on stuff. And um I thought I'd be cute and order some frames. And then when I got my eyes tested, I would take the frames and go, put some lenses in these, please. Well, when I went to the eye doctor with my cool little frames and they tested my eyes, and yes, I needed a new prescription. Absolutely fine. I figured I would. I oh, thank you, Kathy. I said, put these my new lenses in this frame. And they said to me, they said, well, we can do that, but it's gonna cost you 70 pounds just to see if we can do it. I said, excuse? And they said, and if it don't work, you're still going to pay that 70 pounds. I said, well, I guess I'll go over here and look at the boring frames, shall I? So I'm going, and I got 4 pairs, but I ordered 2, but the lady was having a clear out and she just sent me 2 extra ones. And I was like, score. So now that I can't use them for what I wanted to use them for, or risk spending 70 pounds and them not working at all, I'm sending them all to Daniel.
Along with my Betsy Johnson.
Yes. Other stuff.
I haven't forgot you said Betsy Johnson.
Whole box. I just keep throwing stuff in it. You know what I mean? It's like it's gonna be like 20 pounds before I can.
Well, I want to say,
Right, Sandy, that is a ripoff. Hey, Heather Elizabeth, how you doing?
I want to say a big thank you to Dolores because she's very sweet. Very sweet. I got a surprise package from her, but it wasn't for me.
Look at your face.
For my dog. She got my dog some treats that she can't eat. She got a bed that she can't climb on, and she got pee pads that she won't pee on.
He was on the bed yesterday.
I'm kidding. No, and I didn't tell Dolores this, but I just put the bed that because I wanted. Muff is special.
Yeah, she's special.
Muff is a very special dog. Well, she had, they do the bedding thing where they scratch and they go around in circles. Well, she had gotten through, she had actually scratched through. My special Muff was eating the insides, not just tearing it out or anything. She was actually eating, and I caught her eating the insides. So I had to flip that over, and it had a vinyl thing on the bottom, and have her sleep on that. But I wanted one that you could take out. This one you could and wash. I mean,
yeah, the cover off. Yeah.
So she sent me one. Well, I just threw it on top of her bed. I thought, a lofty bed. And when I came back, this happened at lunch yesterday so I just stood on there and I took off and came back and she was laying on there. I sent Dolores a picture. Last night when we went to bed, she was trying to climb up on that thing. So I had to take her bed down and put the other bed. But yeah, she loves those treats.
Oh, good.
She does. She loves those. And she likes her bed very much.
Oh.
She won't pee
and she didn't use, but she also didn't pee because she was scared.
Yeah, she held it. I mean, I was amazed. I'm like, oh, you got to go out, do you? You didn't pee because I put the pee pad down where you usually pee.
She was like, nope. Okay. Well, it's for Muff. I love animals, and I love Muff, and she's so cute. And I felt like she needed an upgrade on her bed, since she tried to eat the last one. I said, I'm going to get her one. Right. So we got a few people in here. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's get into it. So I'm going to do, again, it's going to be little bite-sized topics. I just thought they were good. It keeps it fresh, keeps it rolling. Like I said, sometimes it's hard to find a subject that will take an hour. This actually might, because we're going to have a lot of, I feel what I'm about to tell you is going to evoke a lot of conversation. So let's get into it. I'm calling it extreme dating, ? So here's the thing. I'm not on TikTok at all. And a lot of this is TikTok based, what I'm about to read you, but some of it is YouTube based. But let me tell you. So it's not as simple as what's your sign anymore. Like, what's your sign? Capricorn, Leo? Not that simple. Dating for young people must be very daunting in these times because everything you do, if you don't have a great date, guess what? Someone's going to post about it on social media. Okay. So it's, and sometimes it's not intentional. Sometimes it is intentional that, you know, your bad dates are going to show up and you're like, now you're embarrassed. Now you're like, never want to date again. So, and I will say from a woman's perspective, it's probably quite ick dating in 2023. I'm an old lady. I am married, don't date. I can't imagine I ever would again. I never say never, but if worse comes to worse, it'll be me and a bunch of cats. So let's get into it. So now, because it's so daunting, enter the straight talking self-help gurus for women. Now, these gurus, as they like to call themselves, are attracting a large audience. Basically, and this particular one's on YouTube. And what she's advising, I'm not going to say her name. If you can look her up. I mean, go just Google self-help women gurus and she'll pop up. What she's advising to women over 25 is to seek out and date older men. Not just any older man, affluent older men.
Of what?
Of what do you mean of what?
Fluent.
Affluent, like rich.
Oh, affluent. Okay, gotcha.
Affluent.
Affluent. Gotcha.
They could also
Like
be fluent
in what? What's that gonna do?
Fluent in money. Okay, that's what they got to be fluent in. Cash. Anyway, so it basically to seek out these affluent older men, actively play games to get them. Like, you know, I'm not calling you back. I'm going to be hard to get. Hide all your insecurities. Don't let them know you're crazy. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. And once you have these men in lockdown, once you have these men locked down in your sights, then you should push for these men to pay for everything. Household bills, all your bills, everything. Housing. And you know, it has happened for years, but I think, and people do this, and I think before it was kind of like a, you know, you didn't say it, but you knew people who did it. This is like actively go out there and find these affluent rich men. Now, and the thing is, this may sound like the 1950s. It's like a throwback. Let's find a husband to take care of us, blah, blah, blah. However, this particular guru doesn't suggest you take on any domestic duties or any child rearing duties because he should be rich enough to get you help. Okay, he should be rich enough to get you a nanny, a maid, whatever. Sugar daddy, but I think they mean to marry them. The end result is to marry this person. Okay, so the women who have won these men, so the women who do manage to do this or achieve this have to be beautiful at all times and be worshipped by these men. This has become so popular on like TikTok, especially TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. I don't know. But apparently, according to this article, that people, these young women are reporting their own journeys of their experiences, what they're doing, how they're winning. So basically, they should, this to me can open up a dangerous situation for women. That's just me. Now, call me old school feminist because I am a feminist. Let's be clear. Don't get twisted. We all know this. If you know me, you know I am. I'm very opinionated. I just feel like setting yourself up in something like this can only lead to, I feel danger. I feel like you're setting yourself, and the whole idea is to turn the patriarchy on its head. Hey, I get it. I want to do that too. But I don't think this is the way. I think I was taught, my father told me at a very, very young age, don't count on no man. Don't count on anybody. Make your own money. Get your own way in the world. And if you find someone to share that with, great. But you make sure you can take care of yourself. My father told me this because he didn't want me reliant on independent, on a man, on I'm having to, having to like ask for something or you take care of you because you cannot always count on somebody else. Yeah, he's like buying you. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and you're in on it. You know what I mean? It's like the women, young women are in on it. It's not like they're like, what? And um, but yeah, and I think a lot of it is because also on these TikToks that these women, they're talking about their journeys, and they say that men their age in dating is so hard that men now have nothing emotional to give them. So why should they then seek that out? If I can't get an emotional attachment from somebody, well, I'll do the next best thing and get a some financial from them because they're not giving me anything emotional. And this is quite often repeated over and over and over on these women's TikToks that I can't get an emotional attachment from men. They don't give it to me. They don't want to do it. Hey, H. Welch. Hey, Jerry. Um, so so what they're doing is they're instead of looking for emotional, they're looking for the financial. This way, they don't have to, so basically turning their pain into power. And I get what I get it. I get what they're saying. I understand that. I get that. But I also don't think that being solely dependent on somebody financially is the wisest choice. I just don't. It's a pro rich man thing, H. Welch. It's there's a new thing where young women are now are being now told by these other gurus, women gurus, they refer to themselves as gurus, um, to seek out older men in order for them to pay for everything. And that's basically turning the patriarch on his head. I don't feel that way. I'm old school feminist. I don't need you. I don't need you. I'm gonna do it my way. Yeah. That's how that is. Yes, a sugar baby boss. Yes. And I I feel like it's dangerous. I feel I don't I feel like it's a dangerous game these women are playing. Because here's the thing. Like I said, and a lot of it is because the growing popularity of these influencers is probably most likely because of the economic stagnation people are feeling. People in their 20s and 30s cannot afford to move out of their parents' house and buy houses, and especially women continue to hit a glass ceiling, continually hit a glass ceiling in regards to pay. I think my aunt told me she was playing, so she would marry for money. My mom was the pretty one. I mean, if you have a plan, but and I think that because of the extreme cost of everything right now, I can see why. And a lot of these women can go get education and get a good job, but they're because, and I don't care. You can argue with me. There's no equal pay for women. I don't care what you say. I experience it every day, and I see it all the time because I work in a male-oriented business. So I see it. So they do all this hard work, and then it's like, why am I fighting? Because I'm not getting anywhere. So I can see why one would get to that point of frustration. Um, yeah, yes, they're, and I think in their mind they think they're winning. I think they've been convinced that they're winning because, hey, Beth, um, yeah, exactly. Wait, well, yeah. Let me put that up there. 100%. That it is for it's from like me being controversial here, and then everybody watching my video because I was an asshole. You know what I mean? I mean, I could do that, but I'm gonna offend a lot of people. I don't want to do that. I'm not that person. And so, and I said, I don't know how. Like I said, I don't know how I feel about it. I know how I feel about it. No, that's not true. I know how I feel about it. I feel that this is the wrong message. You want women to be independent. You want women to be as equal as men. Unfortunately, I don't care what you say, even in 2023, it's not. It's not. And um, also, it's kind of like, like I said, I get wanting to turn patriarch on its head. I get that. I get like, if you use me, I'm gonna use you right back. If you think you're clever, mister, hold my beer. I'm gonna show you clever. Yeah, I'm gonna take everything you got. Um, yeah, you just feel like being, and again, but if someone's telling you that's, if you're hearing this over and over and over, and you're a young woman who's hit this brick wall with relationships, with job, with being able unable to afford a house, being unable to pay off your public college debts, you can see where their frustration comes in, and why maybe some of these young women who are probably smart and beautiful, educated, and probably have all kinds of skills would do this. I get why. I'm not saying it's right, but I can see both sides. I can see why a young woman would feel this was maybe a. Plus, again, she's got expected to get married. She's expected to have children. These types of stereotypes are still, to this day, placed on women. And now the women are placing them on other women. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop it. Don't tell these girls this. If these girls want to have kids, great. If they don't, great. If they want to get married, great. If they don't want to get married, great. I just feel like this kind of relationship, in my opinion, would have a shelf life. You know what I mean? Because once you, as the young girl, the young bride, the younger, you're going to get older. You're going to have children if you so wish. You're going to be like, well, I've done everything. I'm bored now. You know, you're going to miss working. You're going to miss doing these things. And then he's going to be like, well, now you've aged out. I'm going to go get someone else. But see, I've got you to sign a prenup, and now you're not getting nothing. So all that hard work you think you did, or that hard work you did, is now gone. I just, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Another social experiment we're going to have to pick up. Girl, I know it would not, ma'am, it sure would not have been said. You're 100% correct. And like I said, I'm an old school feminist. And end up on the streets, end up worse off than when they started. Do you know what I mean? So, so the guru's argument, because always people in the comments were like, well, why don't you just work? Why don't you just go to work, your job, instead of being someone's, like arm candy. And the guru, her response is, pick your struggle. Work hard, or be someone's wife, or or do the smart thing. So you have to pick your struggle. Well, my struggle is going to be to work. I ain't going to be beholden to nobody. And listen, and you have to always be on. You have to always be on when you have to always be the pretty wife and the well put together and this and that and that. You're always on. And just like any job, I have to go to work. These things are good. So this woman's going to be having things expected of her in her role. Now, you could say that about me. I go to work every day. I have a role to fulfill. I have jobs, tasks to do. I have all these things to do. But guess what? After 8 hours, I can come home, take my bra off, get my PJs on, and watch a bunch of crap on the TV. I'm done impressing. I impressed you for 8 hours. I'm out of here. So the thing is, I can detach from work. I can unwind. I don't have to be constantly on, even at home, which would wind me up. I would just dislike you because of that. I would start to hate the person because of that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, maybe, I'm not sure if dating money is, sustainable. Maybe it is. I don't know. In my opinion, I don't think it is. And because of who I am, and because of the way I was raised and the way I've lived my life. Oh no, Dave, no. He ain't rolling his eyes, That's why he ended her. What's the thing? That's what I was gonna say. I could come home and slouch in my PJs, and Dave's not like. I mean, he might be, but he ain't saying that shit out loud. You know what I'm saying? He's like, "But keep that to yourself, son." And you know, I also have to know that when something serious happens, family issues, health issues, money issues, I know he's going to have my back because he loves me as a person. Like I love him as a person. Like not everything's perfect. Not everything's picture perfect. People have problems, but we've gotten through them. And that's because we have a mutual respect for each other. You know, not because he has to or because I have to. But that's just those are my thoughts. I just don't want to see the young women of today trapped in a lie that someone has told them. I don't. She said to Daniel, he's a good Daniel gonna get himself out of that. Dang right. And at the end of the day, when this whole situation, and I just feel like is it, and you say, oh, we're going to smash patriarchy, but in a way, I kind of think that in this situation, patriarchy is winning again, and that makes me mad. So that was my first, and I just thought it was. I mean, I just couldn't believe it when I read it. I was like, what? I had never heard of it. Never heard of it. And I read this article and I was just like, my mouth dropped. I mean, my jaw dropped when I was reading it. I was like, what? I don't know. Dress up on the out. Yeah. I mean, opens them up to abuse. Exactly. So many cons to that situation, more than pro as far as I'm concerned. Daniel? Thoughts?
Okay, so put up Sandy's comment. Where did the disconnect come from?
Yes, I saw that. Hang on. There we go.
Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
Disney. Any romance novel. Anybody who's ever wrote a love story, it's always about Cinderella. I am doing this horrible stuff. But if I find a man who has money that will sweep me away, I won't have to worry about anything. This is where it's come from. Come from all your romance novel writers, all your notebook people. What's his name? The one who writes all those love stories, all the others that write about some horrible thing and they move back to their hometown and then they meet this person and then everything's fine because they're taken care of. I'm telling you, that's where the disconnect is at. That will always be as long as people make up these fantasy stories. Love is not a Disney movie. It's not what you see in the movies. It is not a wonderful fairy tale. It is damn hard work. And this is coming from somebody who's never been in love. I've watched enough couples and seen enough people to know that this is not how it works. And Kathy, I am meant to be a sugar daddy. I am told about that all the time on Grindr. Once you reach the age of 30 in the gay world, you're done. You are to the amount of young people the amount of young people who will come to me and expect me to pay them.
Absolutely not.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm looking for a sugar baby.
Like, I thought it was buy one, get one free.
I have worked hard all my life and I'm tired. You need to support me. I'm like, plus I don't need to pay for anything. I think young people get in their mind too that older people are desperate for affection and sexual favors because they're old and they can't get anything. Honey, it's not true. It's just not. It's just that we're slower. And life kind of knocks all that crap out of you. You have other worries to worry about. It's
Yeah,
not that important anymore.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and the other thing is you got to learn to love yourself, or you're going to want somebody else to take care of you. You're
Yeah,
going to want somebody to take care of your problems. You're going to want somebody to come in and do the Disney thing. So you got to learn to like yourself and love yourself and be enough. So
yeah.
that's my take on this whole thing.
No, absolutely. And I appreciate everyone jumping in. It was quite shocking. I do, yeah, I do believe Disney has a lot to answer for. I am not I'm not a Disney person. I've never liked, I mean, I watched it. I mean, it was on, like whatever, but I was never like Disney has to go. And I think I, just, I just was never that person. I was action girl person. I was like, I don't want to see Disney. I want to see action films. I want to
Well,
go
I'm
see.
going to tell you, I have had, when you get in rough situations, or some
Yeah.
people don't want to work, there are people who want to take advantage of other people and stuff. But sometimes when you get down, um, the cat's attacking. She wants her
Yes.
close up. She wants her close up. Um, when you get down, you want that. You want the break. You want somebody else to take on all the problems, and you want somebody else to just take over just so you can rest. Just
Right.
so
Give me
you don't
five.
have to worry about anything. But when I get to that point and I think about that, and I'm thinking, well, I don't want to live with anybody. I don't want to touch anybody. I don't want them touching my things. I want everything to be split. But you could just give me money. That's fine.
Yeah. So I just said I just think it was it was just such a no, it wasn't satirical. It was an actual story. And the author of the article herself, a young woman, was also shocked that this was going on, which I was glad that the
It ain't any different than these macho men getting on there and doing their TikToks and their thing. Like that one guy who just got arrested for trafficking.
yes, yes,
I
that guy.
mean, he does that the
Yes,
opposite way.
yes, yeah, yeah,
And there's lots of men who follow that and who believe that way of
yeah,
thinking
yeah, young men,
about
young, dangerous for them too. Yes, it's absolutely dangerous.
they should be the aggressor, and and women should just, and
Come over here and try that.
people are crazy. People are crazy.
Yeah,
This
no, no,
world is
it is. It is.
crazy.
It is just. I think with and I think I don't know who said it earlier was that um it's for I think it's H. Welch or somebody said for likes for hits for like oh look at me I'm being controversial. Let me get some views. So
It's true. I mean,
yeah.
you see that with the politicians.
Oh, absolutely.
They're spewing forth things knowing that they're going to get views and they're going to get likes and they're going to get money.
Princess Leia. Yes. She kicked ass and didn't take names. So that was that was my first little tidbit. Just shocked me to read it. Just was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So my next thing is completely different. Street names. Yes, I said street names. I'm in the UK, and let me assure you that there's some weird street names. And I'm like, why is it? So, in fact, Sunday, we had gone to this little town called, we were driving to this little town called Worksworth. And it's like, I'm in the middle of nowhere. You have to go down these country lanes and whatnot. And as we're driving past the street, it said, Penny Lick Lane. I said, excuse me, what? Penny Lick Lane. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, what's going on here? What is a penny lick? And why are we licking pennies?
Kind of like a
Lint.
lint liquor.
It's a little. That's because we couldn't find a rich guy to marry us, so we have to lick pennies now. No, um, so I had to look it up. I had to look up penny lick name. I looked it up, and here's what it means: a penny lick is a small glass for serving ice cream. I know, right? It gets better. It was used in London, England, and elsewhere in the late 19th century and early 20th century. Street vendors would sell the contents of the glass for 1 penny, usually ice cream. So you get a little glass of ice cream for a penny, right?
And a spoon, I'm assuming.
Wait. The glass was usually made of very thick glass in the middle, so it looked like you got more than what you were getting. So it was almost like magnified. The glass was so thick it made the contents look like you had a lot in there. It wasn't. Not for a penny. Come on, people. Everybody falling for that scam. So uh so the customer would lick the glass clean, return it to the vendor, in which he would use it again without washing it. So you'd lick it clean. That's what a penny lick. I said, we're not even buying you where the hell the ice cream place. This is the middle of nowhere. Free cone, exactly. It was pre-cone, and cones were eventually. So the penny lick was banned in 1898 due to concerns about the spread of disease. You think, particularly cholera and tuberculosis. No bueno. Yeah, I know. Here you go. So, obviously, as the glass was not often washed between customers, questions of hygiene led to Italo Marchioni to introduce a pastry cup in New York City in 1896, which is now the ice cream cone. Now, that's a lot of information for a street name. Do you know what I mean? I just wanted to know why it was called that. And this led me to go deeper into now. It was about that is terrible. It's gross. It's gross. But that's why it's called penny lick. And a lot of times, because people saw the contents weren't as much as it looked like on the outside, they would bust the glass. They just throw it on the ground after they finished it. So if anybody finds a penny lick glass, so what it is, it looks like a little sundae cup, but the middle is very, very thick glass. So if you ever find one, you got a penny lick glass, wash it first before you use it. So obviously, so this got me thinking of street names in the UK. Some of them were disgusting. I actually told Daniel one, and I was like, I cannot say that on YouTube. There's no way I could say that on it. I won't. But look it up. It's no. I'm not going to say it. Daniel's like, go on, say it. I was like, absolutely not. I'll be banned. So obviously streets were practical names in medieval England. They developed gradually, drawn from by nearby tree or river, at the farm at the end of the road, or the inn on the corner. Streets might have been named for what happened there, which is what this one street was. A lot of stuff happened there. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened on this one street. But anyway, I won't go into. Streets might be named for what happened there, but also what you could find: the butcher, the blacksmith, the produce market. But also, this haphazard approach bequeathed Britain's most ear-pleasing names. So,
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I'm just thinking of what my grandma used to say, and I'm thinking that would have been a good name for a road. And that's probably what she considered that road called. But we would show up, and my dad would ask, "Where's Dad at?" And she would go, "Oh, he's up there with that whore on the corner." That would be a wonderful name, Whore Corner.
well, I mean, yeah,
It's close to what Dolores can't say.
Yeah, very close. So you'd get names like Honey Lane, Bread Street, Poultry, and obviously they conjure up the food markets that were once there. Well, I mean, I can't say the name. I won't even know.
H. Welch, the funny thing is she wasn't. They all were in their 70s and 80s.
She was a 70-year-old whore.
Needless to say, Grandma didn't like her.
Grandma wasn't a fan.
Grandma wasn't a fan.
Woo! So, and obviously, you'd have like Old Fish Street, which was a site of another market, compared to New Fish Street, where the new market was. I mean, they were kind of like silly. Good names. Well, one of them was called Pudding Street. Pudding Street in 1666. It was where the fire of London happened, uh, on Pudding Street. Now I know you're thinking of pudding, dessert, or Jello pudding, or something yummy like that. Nope, that was actually um, uh, animal guts, which was called offal pudding. OFFAL, awful pudding. So yeah, see, some of the street names were misleading. You'd go all the way there in 1666 thinking you're gonna get some Jello and you're gonna get guts. So careful. So also the names could be tell a visitor where to find the ironmonger, which was Frying Pan Alley, or the Haberdasher Street, which is quite obvious, Amen Corner. And the story goes that the reason why it was called Amen Corner, because when by the time the uh, priest or the vicars went around the church, they would end their prayers at the corner because that's how long it took them to walk around this block. And they'd get to the corner and say Amen. So that's why it was called Amen Corner. Um, Obviously, you got rude names, which like uh, Butthole Road. I said it. I said a bad word. Butthole Road, which was actually named after water butt. Like the water butt came down. There was a big water butt at the end of the road. And obviously, there's a hole on top of the water butt. So, Butthole Road. And then you have Booty Lane. Come on, Booty Lane. Meet you on Booty Lane. That's what you say when you're on Grinder.
This all I was going to say, yeah, this all sounds like what's on Grinder.
And that was either the Bootmakers or Viking Booty or the Booty family, which is what the street was named after. So you also have, and because these street names, especially a lot of them in London, you'll get busloads of people going to these streets, like Cracknuts Lane, uh, St. Gregory's Back Alley, Sluthole Road,
Amen.
Cockshut Lane. And an Oxford resident complained that he finds his street name most awkward when he's sitting with official people and they ask, where do you live? And his answer, Crotch Crescent. Does Booty Lane merge into Butthole Road? No, but I'm sure it does. But it probably butts up to St. Gregory's Back Alley. We're talking about road names in England. Some of the weird and wonderful road names in England.
Yeah.
And I'm sure where you live, you have some interesting road names, but I got Britain. Britain got some crazy names. I mean, just
Those
crazy.
dapper, demure Britons
No.
are a bunch of randy people.
Well, that one street there was pretty randy on. I don't know how, but yeah, probably pretty randy on Sluthole Road. So just thought, when I looked up the Pity Lick Lane, which was hilarious, I just thought, what else kind of? I'm sure, and I've seen the names. I've seen, we say it as it is. Yeah, we do say it as it is. I just turned a little shade of red. Okay, matching my hair now. No,
It's her new blush, booty blush.
A baby blush, Sluthole blush, Sluthole Road blush. You watch, it's gonna be so. I'm gonna get a big old strike from YouTube. Be like, nah, banned. Anyway, so I was just wanted to bring these fun street names up. Colloquial Britain. We're so nasty. So that was one of my stories. My next one, of course, it's going to be about a small mammal. Yeah, it is. I can't resist a small mammal story. Y'all know I'm on the side. I'm team little mammals or big mammals. So I'm not calling her Otter 841. I know that's what they've called her. It's a sea otter. and Miss Otter 841, who I now shall call Serena because I like it. Um, so Serena Otter 841, she's pretty famous in Santa Cruz, California. She's going around hijacking surfboards from surfers, just going up to them, going, "I'll have that. Thanks. Get off." And they're like, "No, no, no, get my surfboard back." And she basically gets on the surfboard. It's like, "I said, give it to me. I ain't playing." And they're like, "Yeah, oh, okay, okay, you can have it, yours." So, hey, Lynn. Um, so, and that's odd behavior for a sea otter because they're usually scared of humans and with good reason. Um, they don't usually approach humans. They're not usually like, "Hey, what's up? Let's hang out." They're not, but out there, shredding some waves on the surfboard. They are, they mind their business. They're keeping to themselves. They don't want to be around humans. Now, Serena, Otter 841, her mother was hand fed by people. Okay. So this was a problem because then they had to take Serena's mom to a sanctuary to try to rehabilitate her. In the meantime, she gave birth to Otter 841 Serena. Now, when they were, they do have, girl, them teeth are so strong that they can break clamshells. That's how strong the sea otter's teeth are. I think it's called crunch, like a little niblet, like, and they're good.
Put it this way, sea otters are like the groundhogs of the sea.
No, they're not. They're actually protected animals, and they're not as many as you think. So I think there's only like 3,000. Not very many, because they were almost near extinction. Near extinction. And by 1911, they were almost extinct. So there was a ban put on hunting them, and their numbers have got up. Sandy, their numbers have increased. But so when Serena was born in captivity, because her mom was like so used to humans, because people kept feeding her. When the people were tending to the mother and the baby, the workers at the sanctuary covered their entire body so the baby wouldn't see their face or recognize them as humans. They're basically in black tents, tending to the mom and to the baby. So then Serena Otter 841 wouldn't be accustomed to humans. So they tried to release the mom back into the wild, but she kept approaching humans. So what they did was put the mom in a sanctuary, which is good. But they released Serena into the wild. Serena's only 5 years old. So all of a sudden, like last year, Serena starts going up to people on surfboards, like all because they're tagged. They know who she is because there's so few of them, and they're all tagged and they're monitored. She just starts swimming up to the surfboards and just grabs a hold of the surfboard and like, "Hey, what up?" And like and when she tries to take it, they're like, "No, no, no!" Like you have to go shoo her like she's like a tiny rabbit. She climbs on the surfboard, literally gets in, and then of course they're like, "Oh no, you can have the surfboard." And they eventually surfboard ends up back on the beach with massive bite marks on it, massive bite marks, and the marine biologists don't know why she's doing this. Don't understand why. They have a theory that she actually has been fed by people, and that's why she's not scared of them. Because in normal circumstances, sea otters will not go around people. They know better. They learn their lesson over time to stay away. But this particular one keeps.
She's looking for a sugar daddy.
Yeah, you heard she needed to find a rich older man, and if he's got a surfboard, he's probably got money. So if he's got spare time to surf, he's got spare time money to spend on me. Poor Serena. And I know. And here's the thing: people see these animals in the wild and think, you know what? You look hungry. They're not. We infantilize them to think, "Oh, you're so cute," because they are adorable. I will. Um, she sees humans as givers. Yeah, she does. And she's they are adorable, but they're not Again, they're wild animals. Stop messing with them. And they think that at some point, maybe someone on a surfboard is better, which is why she's going up to them. Here's the problem. Uh, if she bites one of them, she will be euthanized because she will do some damage to somebody. Not intentionally. She's doing what she thinks she should be doing. And the other not people, and I know I'm calling her Serena, and that's a people's name, but I just think Otter 841 is so formal. You know what I mean? It's like it's a little formal. So, but I'm also not out there feeding her and pinching her little cheeks either. You know what I mean? Going, oh, she's so cute. You know, of course, if I take my arm off. But and because there's so few sea otters, they really don't want to have to. They're trying to. And here's the thing: they try to catch her. She's like, I don't think so. She's on a surfboard. She's gone. She's not being caught. She's like, absolutely not. Now, I have a theory, and I'm not a marine biologist. I do feel that the marine biologists are correct in that someone probably has, yeah, that she was imprinted like that. Yeah, I do believe that someone has fed her because why else? You know, you'll just find a cute younger otter. Yeah, probably. Why else would she approach humans? Or it's not a theory. It's just maybe she has babies nearby, and she's like, absolutely not with your surfboard near my babies. That could be it. But I don't. The marine biologists haven't said that. They say that they really think she's been fed, and the problem is they need to try to capture her safely, and attempt to rehabilitate her. It didn't work with her mom. So if they can't rehabilitate her, they then put her in a sanctuary where she's safe and she can't approach humans. Because if she bites one of these surfers, and hey, Thrifter.order, if she does this by no, no, with not malice, she's not like, I don't like you, I'm about you. She's like, you provided me with something and now I want it again. Where are the goods? And if they, and if they're fighting with her with a surfboard, which it's their surfboard, you can see why they would like not want it to be taken off by an otter. It probably costs a lot of money, but most of them just swim away. They just go here, yep, you can have it. I'm gone. I wish there was merch because even a young kid who was out there, hey, Alan, even a young kid who was out there surfing, and she took his surfboard, and he kind of looked back to watch her. He said, "Man, she was hanging 10. She was shredding him away." That's what he said about the otter. I mean, because like I was a little shocked, but I just swam back to shore. I didn't mess with her, which is the.
And
Yeah.
just for everybody out there, there are videos.
Yes, you can watch it.
You can watch because I watched one and I seen it before Dolores even said she was going to talk about this, and I thought it was kind of funny because he's on a surfboard and then here she comes and she like bites into it.
Yeah.
He tries to get her off and she bites into it and then she climbs up on it and he like jumps off and yeah, it's funny.
So what they're advising surfers is not to surf in that particular area at the moment until they can get her, until they can capture her, and hopefully rehabilitate her. And if not, she will go to a sanctuary, maybe the same one that Hannah the Tank went to, because Hannah's now in a sanctuary. Bags over heads to feed baby birds. Yes, that's what they did. That's exactly, Amanda. That's how they treated. Serena's mom, and when Serena was born, they did this so they wouldn't see the human form. They would just think it's just.
Yeah, but it's like she's saying they have a good sense of smell.
Yeah. It reminds me of the pods of the orcas attacking. Well, the orcas are just having a gay old time out there, just smashing rudders. And that's what there've been so many theories on why, but the latest theory is they're just having a whale of a time. But. So they're trying to capture Serena, Otter 841, to hopefully rehabilitate her and or put her in a sanctuary because there are so few sea otters that you really can't afford to euthanize one. And it absolutely and I don't know what I mean. It'd be like we want justice for if someone got bit, which would be horrific, and honestly would because it wouldn't be attacking like it wouldn't be. Like, I don't like you because you're a person. I don't like you because your name is Tom. I don't like you. Your surfboard's blue. It's just that's just a wild animal. And it would be a shame to see Serena having to be euthanized. And so, what they're telling the surfers is just stay out of the area for now. There's plenty of places to surf, and it's not. Don't go out there and take a TikTok with Serena while she's trying to, don't go out and do that. Leave alone. Let these people catch this animal that they need to rehabilitate her and keep her.
Yeah, and we all know that they're gonna listen.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's people.
And I told Dolores, I said, I think this is funny because I think all
Oh,
the sea creatures are gathering together and they're going to wage war on all the humans in the ocean. And I think it's hilarious.
yeah, yeah.
They're gathering, they're all learning to do this stuff, and they're going to all gather as an army and just
We're screwed. If they rise up, we're in trouble. Yes, I did see about the baby penguins. It was very sad. It's a very, very sad story. It broke my heart. It's just, that's just what people understand about, global warming, because people think it's not real. But anyway, so those are my stories today, y'all. Uh, I think we jumped around. I think we ran the gamut today. I think we got we covered all the things today, which is really fun. I mean, it's sad and worrying and funny. That's what life's about, though. It's sad, worrying, and funny, and scary. And sometimes we can't control it, but we can sure have an opinion on it. And we sure can have an opinion on Double D, because we're full of opinions. And I appreciate y'all stopping in, coming in. And remember now, Double D live chat is now on Fridays at 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and 8 p.m. British Summer Time. And next week we'll be on Daniel's channel.
That's right. And thank you all very much for switching.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you so much,
It's all
guys.
my fault, but hey, this is the way the world works.
Yeah, I'm flexible.
You never know where you're going to have to go with me.
Well, hopefully not on Slut Hole Road. Don't want to go there with you.
It's kind of that way. Anyway, never mind.
Back alley ain't going there either. All right, guys. Thanks so much for coming. We appreciate it. We will see you next week on Daniel's channel. Bye.
Bye.